go, guys. When Billy's done, we're gonna bring Zach and DeMar in together.
Great free throw. That was good.
There's quite a disparity.
Yeah. Billy, you've been talking for a while about how you've seen signs of this team being more resilient, and obviously you're staring at a 19-point third quarter deficit in that third quarter. What was kind of the mood of the team in the huddle, and what did you see from the response from that moment on?
I think it was great. You know, they were all talking about just getting it down to 10 and going one possession at a time. You know, I think the talk by Vooch and Pat Bev and Alex and Zach and DeMar was really good, you know, in terms of what they were talking about. I give them a lot of credit, you know, in that game, getting down like that and having the toughness to continue to fight to get back into the game. I think we maybe cut it to 9 at the fourth, and you know, I thought the defense was really good. Zach really got going offensively there in the second half. You know, we made plays, we helped each other, did a lot of good things. The biggest thing was I thought we fouled too much. And with the fouling, we were fortunate that they shot the ball so poorly from the free throw line, you know, tonight as a team. That certainly was a factor.
What did you think of Zach's performance from 2:45, that timeout at the end of the third quarter, to where you basically got back into the game and tied it up for a couple of points down?
I mean, he was great. I mean, he was assertive. He was aggressive. I thought very, very decisive. When he does that, I feel like he's at his best. You know, when he's not trying to survey and hold the ball and he just goes in his attack mode or pull up, drive it, pass it. He's really, really, I think, is incredibly difficult to guard. It's very, very hard to load up. And it enables him to get a lot of different parts of his game in there. You know, he can pass it, stop, shoot it, you know, and/or, you know, get to the rim. So he was a huge part, I think, closing that third quarter out that, you know, kind of gave us some life. And, you know, I thought Andre Drummond gave us good minutes in that first half. And I give, you know, we just wanted to switch more. And I give DJ a lot of credit for the limited amount of time he was in there. He was part of the run where we kind of got it back from whatever it was, 19 back down to 9.
Yeah, I was going to say, even though it doesn't matter what he says on the box score, when you went small, that's when the game kind of flipped. I'm not saying it was all DJ, but I mean, that small lineup is what changed momentum in that third quarter. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that group there, it was a lot of things. I think it was the ability to switch. I think we were able to play a little bit faster. And then I also thought the other part was Zach really got going. I mean, he really got going. And, that, you know, if you're getting stops and you're down by the number of points we're down, that's great. But if you're not scoring either, then it's a problem. So Zach, the scoring, and then obviously the stopping and the pace which we play with was what got us back into it.
When they're missing that amount of free throws, do you have a sense on the bench like they're giving us this game?
No. I really thought tonight that there was an opportunity to get DeMar to get there a little bit more than he did. You know, he was downhill in the lane a lot tonight. So was Zach. And then obviously they offensive rebound, they play around the basket to begin with. But, you know, I didn't think that you know, sometimes it happens, you know, teams just don't shoot the ball particularly well from the free throw line. You know, they got there a lot. You know, we could have done a better job in certain situations, I think. But there's no question, with as close as the game was, my guess would be that they would look at the free throw line as being the difference.
You came into this game knowing that Alex Caruso was going to have some really big defensive assignments. How did you think that he kind of stood up to that tonight?
I just think there was a lot of different things that happened in the game, like big-time things by different players. Like we talked about Zach scoring. I thought Alex had a couple steals in rotation that was really important. I thought Patrick Beverly, you know, when he got back in for that fourth quarter stint, I thought he really was energized and helped us. You know, Vooch made free throws late. I thought DeMar facilitated and got downhill and got to the rim. There was just a lot of different things and a lot of different plays where different guys stepped up. And just really, you know, it was really great to see them continue to stick together on the road like that when you get down and continue to fight their way back.
He's got a question.
I'm sorry.
I got a question.
Okay.
I want to follow up on that, Zach.
On
you
Zach?
know, Zach, you know he's had a good season, obviously, once he got healthy and post-All-Star break. He's had a good season, you know, for others haven't seen. But, you know, in the larger picture, he's kind of been a very polarizing figure in Chicago and elsewhere. Does this sort of make a statement about what he can do and who he can be that, you know, with a team kind of dead in the water, he just kind of took over and brought you back in the game like that?
You know, the first thing is a lot of people don't get a chance to see these guys as intimately as I do. He is a great human being. He's a great person. He's a great guy. He's a team guy. He's incredibly unselfish. I do think that, you know, his heart is always in the right place in terms of wanting to do what's best for the team. And I think he, as to the best of his ability, tries to read the game and make decisions that are best for the team. You know, and I always admire that, you know, about players. And, you know, people can have opinions about anybody. It really, you know, I'm with him every single day, and I see where his heart's at. And I think the one thing that probably hasn't been spoken about enough, in my opinion, about him is, like, his summer was so unique. He signs this big contract. He misses 4 of the first 8 games. He's really trying to get his legs back under him. There's a portion of the season where he's probably playing at a level that he's never been accustomed to playing at in a long time. And the work, the coming in at nighttime, the extra treatment, the physical therapy, working with the strength and conditioning, like just that he's going to get back. And just put his nose down and worked, you know. And, you know, I thought today, like, none of us out here are perfect, but his heart's in the right place. You know, are there things that he could get better at and I could get better at, and DeMar and Vooch and the rest of our, sure, everybody can. But he's got a really good spirit and a good heart about him.
I don't want to diminish his decency, but that has been the question about Zach, whether he could, under these circumstances, because he's been in them before and hasn't, and you know, it was seemed like a pretty extraordinary performance in an elimination type of situation.
He was phenomenal. I mean, he basically, you know, with DeMar, and I think maybe Vooch was in there towards the end. Maybe I don't think Vooch was in there, but that third quarter, that group. I'm not saying that they solely won the game, because I thought when Alex and Bev came back in the game with Vooch and Zach and DeMar, that was a big factor too. But what he did at the end of the third quarter and going into the fourth, and part of the beginning of the fourth before he came back out, it would have been very, very difficult for us to have won that game if he had not done that. So his performance was extraordinary, and it gave us life, and it gave us a hope. And then once we got back into it, I think a lot of guys made a lot of different plays. But I give him credit. He just has, you know, he had that mentality like he's going to do whatever he can do to help us get back in the game. We didn't shoot the ball at all from the three-point line tonight, at all. And he made some really, really big ones to kind of help us keep getting closer. And he made timely ones as well.
Both of these teams win the turnover battle most nights. What did you see to kind of win into you guys getting the best of that?
The turnover battle? I mean, we talked a lot about it the last 2 days. We needed to do a better job. I felt like a lot of our turnovers, quite honestly, were unforced, that we could do a better job. And I think that the offensive rebounding the last 2 times we've played them and the turnovers have really made it difficult. You know, I thought there was 4 keys tonight, and they dominated one of them. I thought the free throw line, I thought transition, offensive rebounding, and free throws was going to be critical.
Billy, you beat the Heat 3 times this season. Do you have quick thoughts on that matchup Friday night? Obviously, it's different circumstances, but quick thoughts on that matchup Friday
Yeah,
night?
we know going there again. It's another great road test against a team that's seasoned and is coming off a loss and will, you know, look to rebounding and play, you know, to their identity and their style. So you know, we have a lot to get ready for, and you know, we'll be able to flush this tomorrow and get ready for, you know, heading down to Miami and getting prepared for them. So, you know, I don't know. There'll be some things I think we can take from the first 3 games, but, you know, those are over with now. This is a new opportunity, a new challenge that will be in front of us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Now, we got to start with the elephant in the room. Did you know your daughter was good at free throw defense?
Man, I just seen it. She went viral. Now I haven't let it soak in yet. Everybody keeps saying, you know, but that's her. I kept hearing some during the game. Then it was one free throw somebody missed, and I looked back and I was like, damn, that's my daughter screaming. So I was just making sure she was all right though.
Zach, the timeout, 2:45 left in the third quarter, you guys are down 16. You came out, you had that run, I was at the end of the quarter, kind of, and beginning of fourth quarter thinking, but what's the mindset, what's the team talking about? What are you trying to do coming out of that timeout where it looks like you're kind of dead in the water?
Just be aggressive and get it close before the fourth quarter. Rotation-wise, he was going to come in early fourth, so just try to get it close. We weren't doing terrible on defense, it just wasn't getting good breaks, but offensively we were slow, we weren't getting downhill. Just wanted to be aggressive attack and, obviously just get going. And once that happened, I think the rhythm for the whole team got going.
Zach, when you see a team struggling at the free throw line like they did the entire game, can you start to get a sense and feel it that they are tightening up and it is getting a harder chore for them each time they go up there?
I mean, it's one and done game. And, obviously you want to give yourself the best chance. And I'm happy they missed a lot of them. I think we could do a better job of limiting the second chance points. You don't want to be put in that position where you're hoping somebody misses, but we stepped in, we made ours, so I'm happy with that.
Jamar, you've been in a lot of these elimination sort of situations where you've seen performances. What did you think of the way Zach played, especially in the third, into the fourth, and what he did for the team?
Man, amazing. He carried us, was aggressive, downhill. He put his will on the game, and we all followed behind that, offensively and defensively. That's why he is who he is. It was great. I knew it was coming when I seen his feet start moving fast. I knew he was going to get to being aggressive and getting downhill. Nobody could guard him getting downhill. We was making plays. Guys was locked in. It was fun. Tonight was fun.
What was kind of the general mood when you guys were down 19 when you started chipping away in that third quarter?
I mean, we was fine. We was fine. Nobody kind of panicked or we just knew what we had to do. We put ourselves in a hole, and we understood what we had to do to get ourselves out, and that's what we did.
Zach, you had that one, that heat check three in transition. Obviously, you kind of done most of your damage in that period, attacking the rim. Talk through that kind of decision on that break there when you nailed that three.
In transitions, they were so far back. Gary Trent, transition, people know I'm going to be trying to go to the rim, so if his feet were below the three-point line, I just pulled up. I wanted to hit the next one after that, too. So, it was, I get going, I'm going to throw them up there with confidence and get downhill next possession.
Y'all did just start getting to the rim a whole lot more in the second half.
Yeah.
What changed, what shifted for you that you were able to get this team to the rim?
It's aggressiveness,
Yeah.
really. I think, we start figuring out how they're playing us. They're so far up the court, and they started doubling him with pick and rolls. We really didn't want any screens, space them out. If they draw a double team, once we start getting downhill, find open man. But for me in the third quarter, just be aggressive and throw it all out there.
So just considering also just your season, man, the way you started, after pulling off the injury and just a ground lift, just as a feel, what kind of feeling do you have to have a game like this, kind of one of the bigger ones probably in your career?
It feels good. I knew I was going to get in rhythm after, coming off the injury in the summertime. Credit to him. He did a good job talking to me, when I was upset early on in the season, getting my rhythm back. And then obviously about a month before All-Star break, start feeling like myself. And I think everything, you guys could see that. Numbers show it. And, I wanted to take it into this, these playing games.
There was so much hype around this game leading up to it. What did it actually feel like in the moment to be able to clinch this game in this environment for you?
It's always great coming here. This is my first home. This is where I built my foundation, who I was as a professional, as a man. So it's so much that I'm connected to here. I'm going to forever be connected to. So it's always great. It's always bittersweet coming here. But in a moment like this, it was definitely cool to be able to get a victory in a playing game.
You talked a little bit about your daughter already, but what was kind of the decision between having her come and what was it like having her under the basket there? Where you could see
It's crazy. My daughter called me the other day when she was getting out of school, and she was just, she just said, "Dad, can I come to the Toronto game?" I remember going to all the Toronto games when she was a kid, and I almost said no because she in school back home. She kept asking. She was just adamant about coming to support, and I just said, you can miss one day of school and come to a game," and I'm glad I did. I owe her some money for sure.
Is she coming fresh?
No, she got to go back to school. School class. Yeah. 9.
It's like you walked in and heard Billy answer the question about Miami, and I know playing games are different animals than regular season games, but why do you think you guys had success against Miami in the regular
I mean, we match up well against them. Obviously, you know, this is once again a one and done situation. We have to go in with the same mindset. They don't make adjustments. We are too. But, you know, it's going to be whoever wants it more. And I think that's it comes down to that.
You've been around Chicago now 2 years, and there's always a lot of noise around Zach, it seems like. What a game like this kind of play, say about him what people don't know and maybe what don't appreciate?
I mean, how special he is. I mean, it's not too many people in this league that has the talent that he has, you know, and it feels good just to be able to share his, see him get appreciated, you know, from the moment that I got here. You know, I want everything to come his way in a positive nature because I know how hard he worked, how much he cared about the game. And, you know, he's a hell of a person, you know, so for him to,
Don't make me blush, man.
you know, I don't say this many nice things to him all the time. So, but no, it's just great it's just great to see his appreciation that come because of the talent that he has. You know, like I said, I've always been a fan of him before I even came to Chicago. So now to be able to share every moment with him and see it means a lot. So it's definitely dope to see it.
Mark, nothing new, but what do you think of Alex Caruso and Pat kind of defending Pascal? And
Man, it was amazing. I mean, we feed off those guys, man. We feed off them. It's contagious. It's amazing what they do. It's amazing how much pride they take in being defenders. And with that, with us being the leaders of the team, we got to follow behind it. You got to rally behind it. And it's amazing when you see them lock up, get steals, make big plays, sacrifice their body, screen the rolls, diving for the ball. You know, it's definitely get us going.
Hey, Zach, you've had obviously big regular season games, and this game is kind of in the ether. It doesn't count as anything, but obviously you know the magnitude of it. Do you feel this is your first big Bulls moment game where there's an impact to it, there's a lasting memory to it, where you guys now are do or die and you get the win?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll let y'all decide that. I mean, I just wanted to help us win the game. If I had 0 points or 40, you know, I just wanted to help us win the game, and we did that. So it's, you know, move on to the next one and, you know, see what we can do from there.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, guys.